I just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Culprit Underwear. Ladies, men in America on average wait 5 to 7 years before buying new underwear. Let's step it up. Don't let your man be that average Joe. Buy him some Culprit underwear. It's underwear meets loungewear. It's breathable. It's sexy. It's soft fabrics. It is also micro model blend. It's perfect for when you get up in the morning and right before you make love. I personally have also weight modeled for them. I had blonde hair, so I love their thick, like little band. I think it's always sexy. They have like really bold and amazing styles. This one has spaceships, and then my second favorite, which I brought, it has like a little cupid. It's so cute. They have unique styles and different prints, such as like shark bait, samurai cats, Jurassic Western. There's also solid prints. There's a black ribbed one, which I also own and I love. There's like a marshmallow type flavor, which is really cute for girls. Okay, toasted marshmallow solid print, not flavor. You can build your own bundle. They do have subscriptions. And if you order through us, you get a code. Just use your caviar22 at the end of your checkout for a 22% discount. Thank you, Culprit. You guys are amazing. Hi, guys. Welcome back to your Caviar podcast. Today, I have the most wonderful guest ever, Vanessa Cater. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so excited to be here and now nervous. Yeah.
You guys, Vanessa is an amazing stunt woman, actress, extraordinaire. Oh my God, I can't say that word.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. How about you introduce yourself to this camera?
Hi, I'm Vanessa Cater. I am, as Nihan said, a stunt woman. I'm an actor as well. I actually started doing stunts after being an actor, which is always a very interesting way to get into it. I'm from New Zealand. I've been here in LA for just over 11 years.
Yeah, so let's scale it all the way back to New Zealand. You were born there.
Yes.
What was like growing up there? Like, I know nothing about New Zealand.
It's beautiful. The people are really, I feel like the thing about New Zealanders is we self-deprecate and we have really dark humor, but the one thing that everyone else says about New Zealanders, and we're okay with saying about ourselves, is that we're all very kind. It's a very kind, nice country with, it's very welcoming to everyone, which is, you know, what the world needs more of right now. So I had a very traditional, to a degree, upbringing. I have an older sister and two parents who were very much in love and had a really nice, you know, like regular, playful, fun childhood. But my dad was a stage hypnotist, stand-up comedian, and a children's entertainer.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up doing magic shows from the time that I was 5.
Wait, you do magic?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's like, show me something. I'm like, can you keep a secret? Yeah, I'm like, so can I. That's my easy way of getting out of everything. But I used to do big illusion acts. Like my sister used to like cut me in half or remove my stomach and all that sort of stuff. So I did it up till I was about 14, where we had a fire at our place and we lost all of the magic equipment and stuff like that. So yeah, it was like 2 years after my mum had passed away. So at that point I was just like, all right, new thing, acting.
Yes. And is your sister in entertainment as well?
No, she's back in New Zealand. My dad, unfortunately, is not well, so she's living near him and helping out with that. And they're in now moved to this little town in the middle of nowhere, New Zealand. Yeah.
Oh, that's
my
amazing.
dad is about to, in the next few days, I think, get a star on the New Zealand Walk of Fame.
Oh my God, that's massive.
It is. It's
well,
actually
now we know
really
where
huge.
your talents come from. But like,
I would like to be funnier to do my dad well, but I'm not.
I'm pretty sure he's very proud of you. Yeah. We're going to get into your credits later on, but like, holy crap. So when you said you had like a traditional upbringing in New Zealand, what is that like? Because I assume when I imagine New Zealand, it's very green. Yeah. Even if it's like a little, like a bigger city, it's more like villages type of cities in my mind.
Just more suburbs, I guess.
Okay.
We have like more suburbs, and I know the how people differentiate from country to country of how it is. So you've got like Auckland City is the main city, and then again everything just dissipates out to like suburbs and things like that. So yeah, it was just like a regular home with a dog, a cat, a bird.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
A trampoline in the backyard. I just saw a picture today of me and my sister with a slip and slide in the backyard.
I feel like your upbringing was so wholesome. That's amazing.
It kind of was. My parents, were a little obsessed with each other. There's lots of video footage of my dad filming my mum's butt around.
Oh my God.
But my mum passed
Dad.
away when she was 39. So now that I'm older, I look at that, and my mum was younger than me when she died. So I was just like, I used to be like, ew. And now I'm like, oh.
I feel like that doesn't have an age though.
No, it doesn't.
Justin, my
oh
producer,
my God, Justin's parents.
Yeah, like your parents are the cutest thing ever, and we all just like spent 4th of July at you were there, and they're just like holding each other's hand, like walking to the beach together. I'm like,
that's what it's about.
Damn it,
Yeah,
so cute.
It is.
Also, her and I already talked about this. For some reason, you guys, I'm Turkish, but we do have the letter V in like our alphabet. She's laughing at me because I literally confessed to her this like on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't say your name properly. And I don't know why.
Sounds fine to me.
Vanessa, but like it's weird. So Ness.
And which I love because it's my favorite nickname that, my closest friends call me Ness anyway.
Yeah.
So when you started calling me Ness, I was just like, aw. And then you were like, it's because I can't say your name. I'm like, oh.
So Ness.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a little girl version of you. You're growing up around like your sister, after your mom, and like your dad, magic and stuff. How did you get into acting then?
It's literally all I ever wanted to do.
Oh, I love
Like there was nothing else that I wanted to do. And by the time I got to, in New Zealand, our schooling's a little different. We hit high school at like 13 through 17 is what we call high school.
Oh, okay.
So so we have primary school. Everything's changed now, but when I was at school, primary school was from ages like 5 to 10. Intermediate, which I guess is like middle school, is 11 and 12 years old, give or take.
Okay.
And then 13 through 17 is high school.
I think that's kind of similar.
Similar, right?
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
I think that's
I've just heard people say high school over here is more like 15. Is that right? Or
I think like 14. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. So,
but that sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. So by the time I got to high school, I joined a casting agency when I was about 14.
Okay.
And I ended up missing a lot of school.
Okay.
And my dad was just like, look, if this is what you want to do, then I'm okay with you doing it.
So what were you casting at this agency?
It was mainly just, and like I've done the proper full spectrum of stuff, which is I started doing extra and feature extra work on New Zealand TV shows and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of that.
You were a lead female, by the way, in the Contour in Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe.
A centaur.
Did I fuck that up? Sorry.
No.
But yeah, the Lion, the Witch. So how did that come about?
That was an audition. They needed tall, strong woman. And I went and did a casting, and I got cast as the lead female centaur, which in the grand scheme of that movie doesn't mean a lot, but it did for me at the time.
Of course.
And
also, it's a massive movie.
It's a massive movie. It was huge to be part of that. And we shot that over, the part that I was involved with was about 6 weeks that I was involved in that. And we did that between Auckland and then in the South Island of New Zealand. Like we were staying at ski lodges and doing all that. It was like full prosthetics. It was my first foray into prosthetics where they make you look a little bit like a horse.
Yeah.
And at that
How
time,
long did that take? Like how long are you on the wardrobe
like our
chair?
call times were like where we were staying in the South Island, we get picked up about 3 a.m.
Okay.
We'd get to the set at 3:45.
Right.
And then would probably get on set around 5 a.m. There were so many days that we didn't get on set at all. We would be in full prosthetics, do 14 hours, and then go home and get them to take it all off again without ever having set foot on set. And it was a really big learning curve for me. But that was also where I met all the stunt performers.
Okay.
And that was where I was hanging out with them because they were way more fun to hang out with than the actors.
Was that your inspiration to kind of like?
A little bit. It didn't come for a few years after that, but that was where I first met everyone. And I remember we were all sitting around, like everyone's dressed as fawns and centaurs and satyrs and all the different wonderful creatures, and we were all like sitting around under these tent things. And all of the stunt performers were talking about all of their broken bones and their scars and all of the stuff they'd done. And then they're like, why aren't you doing stunts? And I'm like, not the face. I don't think
Yeah.
so. I was like, oh, I'm, the lead female centaur in this film, and my career is going to take wah. And that was another learning curve where I didn't work for about 3 years after that.
And are you still in New Zealand at this time, or
Yes,
was it okay?
Yeah. So I started stunts when I turned about 30, and so it was another like 8 to 10 years after that that I got into stunts. There was a American show called Legend of the Seeker and Spartacus were both being done in New Zealand at that time, and they needed a lot more female stunt performers because there'd been such a lull in the New Zealand TV and film market at that point.
Yeah.
That a whole lot of the female stunt performers had gone off, and like a lot of people do, they went into real estate or they had kids and people just weren't available. So they did the New Zealand Stunt Guild did a big audition day, and they auditioned something like 80 girls, and they only took 3 of us on.
Wow.
And this is, again, the story of my life. They were like, you're jack of all trades, master of none. Like, I could do a bit of everything. When they were like, with my size, they were like, we don't know what we're going to do with you, but we'll figure it out. So
yeah,
it was great. So I got into stunts that way just because I wanted to be on set. My favorite place in the world, the happiest that I am, is when I'm on set.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of at that point didn't really mind how I would go about doing it. And it was actually a really amazing career shift from focusing just solely on the acting and moving into stunts, just because it got me on set so many times, and you still have to play a character and tell a story. And I had a dance background, so I got to do choreography, and I considered myself to be pretty decently tough. So I got to like hit the ground and swing a sword and throw punches and all of that.
Which is
sort of
hard
stuff.
to believe, because when you look at her face, it's like the sweetest smile ever. You were on basically pretty much a lot of the big sets in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, like, is there major differences between being on a set there versus in America? Even if it's like an American production or whatever, but like...
Yeah, craft services is way better over here.
Okay.
Like, it's phenomenally
Here?
better here. It is.
Okay.
I mean, the food quality is way better in New Zealand, but I remember doing my very first commercial over here, which was a Super Bowl commercial, and it was with Aaron Rodgers and Hans and Franz from Saturday Night Live, and I had no idea who they were.
Right.
Because I'm a foreigner. It was my first commercial audition in America, and I booked it. Everyone else was freaking out, and I'm like, I don't know who these people are. So, and that was very depressing for everyone else. And then I remember we were at Universal, and about a month before, my dad had been over visiting, and I remember we were doing the tour around, and I was like, I'm going to work here one day, and cut to a month later, and I was just like, this is so cool. And they had an entire soundstage set aside for craft services. And I just remember walking in.
Entire soundstage?
Set aside. They had like it was just like the whole side of it. They had a sushi stand and a salad stand and it was just, I don't think I've ever actually seen anything like that ever since, but that was my first proper SAG type job.
What a great
and
way
I was
to
just like, oh, I had to wear this little outfit, and I was like, I can't eat any of it, but I really want to. Yeah, but there is definitely cultural differences, even when it's an American production being done in New Zealand. There are certain things that are done over here. For a stunt performer, we do over here, it's called, you go and hustle a set. And this freaks everyone out, because it did freak me out too, which is where you find out from a call sheet that a friend's working on. They let you know the location and where they're going to be. It can only be on location where it's sort of a more public area. And you go and hustle your way onto set so you can meet the stunt coordinator and be like, hey, I want to work with you.
Whatever works.
And they love it over here. If you do that in New Zealand, they'll take your headshot and be like, great, now we know who to never hire.
Oh, interesting.
So it took me like a year or so to even just have the balls to be able to like hustle my way onto a set.
Yeah.
And even then, I'd never hustled my way onto a set. I'd find a PA, I'd find them at base camp and be like, hi, I'm with I'm stunts, and they said to come and drop, and they're like, oh, great, okay, you're here to hustle, we'll walk you to so I never tried to like sneak my way, and I used to announce myself, and the things you can get away with an accent is amazing.
Oh yeah. You can get away with anything if you have a different accent.
You can, yeah, because they're just like, oh, you don't know the protocol, how sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Just play, dumb and cute and funny. That's so interesting to hear, because I think from an actor point of view, like, there was a certain time, I don't know, I feel like now it's kind of whatever, but you couldn't email casting directors, you couldn't do this and that, because if you did, people would say that would give you a bad reputation, even though honestly no one fucking cares. If it's gonna end up in the trash, it's gonna end up in the trash. But like there was like such stigma about certain things that you couldn't do as like an actor trying to get an audition, because we all knew like how hard it was. It's so interesting hearing it from like a stunt perspective. But I also imagine like you guys have such a probably like a knit. You guys know each other. Like I was at Jam today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love training there.
Jam is Joining All Movement, which is a stunt training gym facility that they do open gyms. They train actors. So shout out to Jam.
Yeah,
they
no,
are.
Thank
They're
you.
awesome.
I was like, I'm gonna let you take over now.
They're such an amazing facility because they work for actors and people who are wanting to learn, as well as some of the top people in the industry train there. So it's such a networking opportunity, as well as you get in a lot of training and all of that stuff. Which means
And like go back to what you were saying. So they did like a beginner for actors type like thing that I took. And then now I'm training with someone, and even like doing the workshops, they had such like massive stunt people come who's worked on like Mortal Kombat and like, you know, all these like massive movies, Black Panther, like everything Marvel. And every day they had someone different, which was cool. And all of them literally all across the board was like, listen, you guys, I understand you're actors, you have a different training. Now you're here and you want to like expand your physical abilities and stuff. Please just like send me your reels or like send me your whatever you're working on, the choreography, before you pay to like make a reel out of it, because we want to make sure it looks legit. We want to make sure you have like the right techniques and how you punch and whatever. And that's so nice.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to take their time to do that.
This is all what stunt people do that as well. Like, you know, you see people fighting at a park, or if you follow any stunt performers on social media, all you'll see them do is like filming each other doing stuff, and they're working on, there are so many multi-talented stunt performers. No stunt performer is just a stunt performer.
Yeah.
They're an editor, a camera operator, a writer, an actor, you know, like which, you know, everyone in this industry is multifaceted. But stunt performers do a lot of the technical stuff as well, because when we do previs, which is what we do prior to going on set and shooting fights and things like that, there's weeks, days, months sometimes of choreography and training and putting stuff together, breaking down a script and figuring out where the stunts are if they're big, huge fights for things like Marvel. We'll spend weeks working on those fights.
Absolutely.
And
that's why they look so great.
Yeah. And the same stunt performers are also the camera operators. And for a fight to look good, you've got to know how to sell it to the camera. And so that's that coffee.
Coffee's hitting me.
But yeah, so you need to know how to sell it for the camera, but you need your camera operator to know how to
move
with you as well.
Absolutely.
So when they say things like, you know, send us your reel and what you've been doing, a lot of that is because they also want to make sure that camera has done you justice as well. So you can throw the best punch in the world, but if you're not aware of where the camera is, or the camera operator hasn't moved around just enough, you're just going to see this instead of seeing like it clock past. And
makes sense. By the way, did you finish your Turkish coffee? Not yet. Okay. Not yet.
I was doing the so slow sips
because I wanted you to.
Should I pound it?
Yeah. And then
grab. Oh my.
Yeah. Oh, did you get the
There's some real strong stuff at the back.
Yeah.
And then what do I do?
So get the top.
I love how you call that the top, because I saw what you did. I was like, what is she doing?
So
put it on top?
Yep. And then just like manifest something in your mind and turn it over.
And then just place it down?
Yeah. We'll get back to that after. So what is, for actors, we know like what the audition process is like. What is the audition process for stunts? Is it like they look at your tape and then your credits, and then do you go into a room, or
There are occasionally stunt auditions done.
Okay.
For things like, I know they did it for Wonder Woman. They did for the girls playing the gladiators.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was too tall to be a gladiator.
What?
I know, they were
I was
all like
gonna say, how are you
5'9"
not-
and under pretty much.
Really?
5'8", 5'9", because Gal Gadot was 5'10". They wanted
Okay.
the lead people
be
to
the
just,
bigger.
just to be that little bit taller. So,
Okay,
you know, like that's
interesting.
casting, right? So I don't get to stunt double very often. It's very rare that I get to because of my height and my size. So for me, I get a lot of stunt acting roles. So either I'm
great.
actually doing an actual acting audition and then it's going through casting, but instead of it going via an agent sending my stuff forward, the stunt coordinator puts forward X amount of people, casting selects who they want, or the director goes, I want to audition these people. So the process for that is still the same.
Okay.
But if it's purely just where the director's going, I need 5 people for this and I need 6 people for that and we want this fight and I want da-da-da-da. Sometimes it's just as easy as the stunt coordinator knowing who you are and then putting your picture in front of a director going, I think these people would work well together, and them saying yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes.
Got it.
It can be that easy.
Oh, wow.
And then other times there's things called ND stunts, which is nondescript stunts, which is all the action that you see in the background where no one is specifically featured or playing a character. It's people running around in the background or
Right.
like stunt performers are even the people who you see in an action film where the actor is running down an escalator and like there's the good guy behind chasing the bad guy down or vice versa.
Yeah.
And they're shoving people out of the way as they go down the escalator. All of those people are going to be stunt performers.
Oh, wow. I
Just in
didn't know
case
that.
something happens, they get shoved and they slip and fall down the stairs or go over the side. They can't have extras doing it. So all of those are stunt performers.
Okay.
And those sort of things, they are just
That's cool.
chuck you a day of work
Yeah.
to come and
Great
you know,
paycheck.
Yeah. So there are days you get hit by cars and there are days where you basically are a glorified extra getting paid lots of money.
Wait, but also Nez has a clip of her getting hit by a car. What project was that?
It was for 911, the TV
911?
series, yeah. And it was one of the times I was
insane,
doubling.
you guys. And you're like, oh my God,
Yeah,
such a good job.
thank you. It
Yes.
was my first and only ever car hit. And it's
many more.
literally, it's one of those things I can't say I'd say no if someone asked. I just kind of hope they never ask me again.
Yeah.
'Cause, it could have been bad. That's
Yeah.
a car hit, right? People
Yeah.
always say, how do you do it? And like, you get hit by a car for real. And they're like,
Oh my God.
oh, okay. Yeah. So it can be pretty gnarly. And I walked away from that with like a cut on my finger and bumps and bruises. I was
Oh my gosh.
very lucky because it was definitely an
Yeah.
extreme.
No, it looked
hit.
really intense. I mean, okay, so some of your credits, Nez, Atlas with J-Lo, The Grain Man with Ryan Gosling, which by the way, how was that? Because I love Ryan Gosling.
I have a Ryan Gosling story.
Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. So it's 2021. Everyone's still doing COVID. We're all wearing masks. This team had been together for quite a while. I joined the team a little later for a specific part on The Grey Man. Turned up just to hang out with everyone while they were training. They were doing this fight, the C-130 fight. Ryan's there training with everyone else. I was talking to someone and I saw him sort of look at me funny. And I was like, okay. And it's like, maybe it's because I'm a stranger. He knows who everyone else is or whatever it was. And then he kept on looking at me and I was like, am I loud? Because I have a loud voice. I'm like, okay. So I was being quieter. And then it was one of those things where I was just like, I don't know why this man is looking at me. And I was like, it's Ryan Gosling. So I was really, really nervous about it. And then he went and did this fight and he came out. It was meant to be a headbutt and they almost like bashed noses together. And I jokingly said to him, I was like, in New Zealand, we call that a hongi, which is the Maori culture where they press noses together. He went, oh my God, you are from New Zealand. I thought so. Do you know this person and that? Because he had done the Young Hercules in New Zealand.
Oh my
And
God.
So
He is the Young
He is the
Hercules.
Young Hercules.
Okay.
And so we had a bunch of the same friends and it was like this whole New Zealand conversation.
Right.
So he'd been looking at me trying to figure out if I was Australian or New Zealand because he just wanted to talk about New Zealand.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
that's
every
so
day
cute.
after that, I'd turn up and he'd be like, hi, Vanessa. I'm like, hi, Ryan. And then I was just like,
Hi, Ryan.
awesome. Yeah. And he
That's
was
so
really
cool.
sweet. He was,
Yeah.
and because he's got a tap dancing background and a lot of action stuff,
Yeah.
the stunt team had a great time with him. Like,
That's
because
so cool.
he learned choreography really well. And so, and his doubles were amazing as well. So that was and it was a very intense shoot in the middle of COVID and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So
you had a story earlier about someone gifting you champagne and caviar.
So
Please share.
when I first moved here to America, I made my very first stunt friends. There was a small group of them at a training at a place called XMA, which is Mike Chat, who now works for 87 North, doing a whole lot of their stuff. But back in the day, Mike had XMA, Extreme Martial Arts, and I would go in there to do stunt training like you do at Jam. And I made one of my best friends to this very day, John Nania. He is the Winter Soldier double for Sebastian Stan. He was
Sebastian Stan.
and he was Chris Evans' double on The Grey Man when
cool.
we were doing that with Ryan Gosling. So he's done a ton of stuff. Like his credits just totally eclipse mine. When I first moved here, he knew that it was such a big deal for me just being a foreigner, and every time I would just have any moments of doubt or anything like that, I'd remind myself I'm this little Kiwi girl from New Zealand, and I'm like living in LA, and I'm like, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. And so
Surviving, also doing what you love.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
It is. It really is. And I try never to take that for granted. Like even being here doing this is like, oh, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere at the point where someone wants to hear about it.
Absolutely. You have so many great stories.
I do.
Okay.
So I think it was my second birthday from living here. And John wanted me to realize that how far I had come. And so the gift that he gave me, even though I'm allergic to all seafood and I don't drink wine, but he gave me champagne and caviar because he was just like, these are your champagne dreams and caviar wishes. And he's like, and you're living it and breathing it. And so it's been about, 9 or 10 years since he gave those to me, and I still have them. I have the champagne.
She still has
I
them,
still
you
have them.
guys.
I have the
9 years later.
Yeah,
I
have
want to
the
know what that caviar looks like.
It's sitting in my fridge. It's in this tiny little
Oh my
bottle. I'm
God.
like, and the champagne's sitting in.
That's actually
in
a good
cupboard,
question. I
but-
wonder how long caviar lasts.
Oh, I'm sure not that long.
Yeah.
It's probably
Yeah.
not great, but it's my reminder. So
That's
it's
so
my
cool.
reminder all the time. So
love that.
I always have John with me. He's
That's
one
so
of the
sweet.
best. Yeah,
How do you like living in LA? Like, I'm sure you miss home for sure.
I do. This is now home
Right.
to a certain degree, and I've made some amazing friends. I miss my family, but they wouldn't have it any other way. My dad tells everyone I'm a California girl now.
I love it.
But LA, when you've been living here for a decade or so, it's a love-hate.
Yeah.
It's that love-hate thing.
Yeah.
Like, I do love it, but there are so many things I hate about it, but I kind of love those things as well.
Yeah.
And with the industry, how it is right now, things are a little harder, but we still, the people who are here and have been here this whole time, we're hanging on.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's gotta come back. This is Hollywood, right?
I think
This
it
is-
will too.
This is
with
where we
the-
all came for our dreams, and we've all struggled, and we've paid our dues, and we've paid
Yeah.
the rent, and done the hard jobs and the small jobs and whatever it may be. So with LA, besides, the being one of my friends, we've talked about dating and stuff, which is the worst thing in the world is in LA. But other than that, there are really, truly genuine people here who help each other and who are passionate about it. And people talk about there's not that in LA, and there is that everywhere.
Yeah.
You
just
need
have
to
to
be one of
find
those
it.
people, and then find those people and make them your own. Yeah.
I think that's a good takeaways. You have to be that for yourself first.
Yeah.
And then find those people that you can also like keep around.
Yeah, if
even
you're
if it's like
looking for other people to help you,
You
if
have
that
to
is your intent when you meet people,
Yeah.
like I've gone to a lot of networking parties and stuff like that, but when I go to them, I go as someone who is so stoked to have been invited.
Yeah.
I go as someone who's just really happy to be there. And if I make connections, I want to make connections. I don't necessarily want to network, and that's how I keep people. Because you
Absolutely.
find genuine people when you go in with genuine intentions.
I mean, everything it's a yin and yang, I
Yeah.
feel like the good side of like meeting the other kind of people that, we kind of stay away from is the fact that like when you live in cities for that long, you can kind of spot them a mile away.
Yeah.
And it takes less energy as you get older. Whatever. No one's bad or whatever. Everyone has their own reason for surviving in a big city.
Of course.
and it's hard, especially if you're in the industry. Yeah, it's just like as you're getting older, you kind of weave out the people who you just don't vibe with, and that's fine.
Yeah, and you're right, because everyone has their place, right? You have the people who are they're so driven and networking's their thing and stuff like that. And sometimes those connections, those networking those people are necessary because they are a stepping stone. They're not the people you're keeping, but there are people who you may be able to do something for each other, or they introduce you to someone else or whatever it is. You have almost a I tolerate the moment.
Yeah.
But you need those people as well, because those are the hustlers and the movers and sometimes they can inspire you to push yourself further.
Is there like not to get on the subject of food, but maybe because I'm hungry, is there like what's the food in New Zealand like?
Besides, I found it so funny when I moved here to America and everyone was talking about grass-fed this and I'm just like,
yeah.
What else is there? Because that's all we have in New Zealand. We have like
fair.
green paddocks everywhere, and they're like, no, hay-fed and grain-fed. I'm like, oh, of course. I've seen that in movies.
Right.
But so the quality of food in New Zealand is amazing because we have more banned everything. Like the minute you put a spray on the ground, you can't, anything that grows out of it, you can't sell it as food. But our traditional, the Maori culture in New Zealand, which is our ethnic culture in New Zealand, our originals, that is a hangi, like the luau's and the umus and stuff that they have in the Pacific Islands and Hawaii and stuff like that. They will put food into banana leaves and bury them in the ground and cook them in the ground. Ours, because we are not as tropical, because we have 4 distinct seasons, we are very close to Antarctica, so winter is cold but summer is hot. So we have flax baskets that are woven, and so the food goes into flax baskets and it's dug into the ground and then put hot stones over the top of it and cooked for hours and hours, and then you dig it up. So everything's got a smoky, everything falls apart.
Amazing.
So if you go to New Zealand, there's, they'll do a hangi, and that is
there
amazing.
a specific season where that happens, or it's year round?
Year round.
Okay, cool.
It's just harder when it's rainy and cold and wet.
So when is like the best time to go visit New Zealand?
I would say, look, summertime is baking hot, and we don't really have much of an ozone layer, so the burn time is really fast.
Yeah.
But our summertime is the opposite from America, so we have summer Christmases.
Okay.
But the best time to go is probably anywhere from September through till March, April, that period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also worked on Jumanji.
I did.
Were you on set with Sir Darius?
I was not. I actually met Sir Darius afterwards, since I do his acting classes, because his acting classes are amazing.
I've known Sir Darius since like film school in New York. He's an actor and he's killing it. Yeah.
He's a lovely, lovely human being, and we knew of each other because of Jumanji, but we didn't meet till years after, actually, a few years after.
That's crazy.
And now I do his acting class. He has Let's Talk Acting as his acting classes.
Yeah.
And he calls it more like a gym.
Yeah.
Rather than, he's like, we're all here to teach each other kind of stuff. But that man can break down a scene like I've never seen anyone do.
What did you do in Jumanji? Like
I was one of the characters inside the game. So there were 4 main in the second Jumanji. There was a main bad dude who was a guy, Rory from Game of Thrones, and then he had 4 main hench people, which was 3 giant guys and me.
And is there anything coming up that we should look for that you're doing, or your last like few projects?
The next thing that's coming up, I have a very, very small stunt acting role on Peacemaker for DC.
Yeah.
Which is coming up. And
that's so fucking cool.
It was very cool. And that's the second time that I've gone to work with John Cena, because I had just done Jackpot with him and Aquafina. And I worked with Aquafina on Jumanji. So it was like this, like this rotation of things. Keep trying to kill Aquafina. Poor girl. There's an ongoing joke. She has actually put on her Instagram at one point. She was just like, if there's anyone who's going to kill you, or try to, it should be Vanessa. I was just like, oh, that's great.
That's a cool shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so John Cena is fantastic, and he's really fun. The whole crew is half actors, half stunt actors. So I got to be on set again with some of my favorite people.
That's so cool.
So it's really great when we all get cast together and we're just like, hey!
I love it.
So it's like a week or 2 of just playing silly buggers. Great.
I feel like, I mean, I have so much more to ask because I'm like, we didn't talk about dating. We have like so many dating stories, you guys.
We
that
do.
her and I
was like, maybe we
exchanged.
subverted that on purpose.
No, but this is great because you're the first like stunt person that I've had on here. And especially like being a woman, and like I wanted people to kind of like see what that world is like. You know, like I didn't even know what the audition process for you guys were, or like,
Yeah.
you know, where you can go train and stuff.
Well, now you do because you
now
go
I
and train
do.
there.
Yes. Do you have any advice for anyone who's like, you know, maybe they just moved to LA from overseas or whatever, and like what helped you kind of, you know, stay above water, but also if you had any advice for anyone who wants to get into stunt, what that kind of looks like?
It would be find your community, because they're the ones who are going to help you out for sure, because a lot of the stunt work is community based. And I say that in regards to, I get hired by a lot of the same coordinators over and over again because they like having me on set.
Yeah.
Obviously you need to be castable, you need to be good at what you do and all of that sort of stuff, but being present, professional, and being a good person to be around on set is one of the biggest things in the stunt world, because we are literally have each other's lives in our hands at times. So you need to be able to be focused and serious when the time comes, and then light and playful the other times, because it's so serious what we do. You can't live in that space the entire time. So in regards to getting into stunts, besides finding your community, it's putting fight choreography together, getting with someone and building those fights, and learning new skills and filming them and putting it together in a reel, and then sending those off to stunt coordinators. And the best way to find stunt coordinators is Instagram, because follow all of the stunt people on Instagram. Every time they work, they always tag who the coordinator or the fight coordinator was who brought them on, as a thank you, because we're always so grateful.
Absolutely.
But also IMDb. Find out who the stunt coordinator was for that particular job, that show that you like, that movie that you saw that fight in, you thought that you'd be really well cast in something like that if it were to come around again. Find out who they are, and then this is what I do. I just put their name and put stunt and email and Google it.
Love it.
And then eventually you go down like a trickle of things and you find their emails and you send your stuff off. It is literally a networking job, sending out professional emails, updating my reels, updating my photos.
I think that's great advice.
It's a lot of advice, but you know,
that's great.
People will find their way.
It's hard work, and people don't, you know, sometimes think about that, but that's why you are where you are with all the credits that you have, and it's a lot of work, but
it is. It's fun. And
thank you so
I'm
much.
glad to still be doing it and still be in one piece. And
Yes.
I have no bruises. That's what the only great thing about the industry being quiet is I finally have like long nails, because
Your
they
nails
normally are
look
broken,
great.
and I don't have any bruises right now, which is so weird.
Yeah, no, I've seen some gnarly bruises on you.
Yeah.
Ness, thank you so much for coming on. This is so great. Let everyone know your Instagram handle and all the good stuff.
Vanessa Cater. I put my name as everything because I figured people should know my name. So it's VANESSACATER. Everyone thinks it's Carter. There's no R in the middle. It's just Cater. That's about it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're kind of like coming out of this water, and you have this like, it's like a very pretty like ancient spear, like a thing, and you're like holding it like this, and then above you there's a floating female. She's just like literally right above your head, and on top of her head there's like a small dog. I feel like you have like a lot of people watching over you, but where you are is somewhere tropical, and you're kind of like gliding out of this water holding this like spear. Like you could take that as like whatever mission that you have in your mind, and you're just like very focused on it. The front of that road looks like the prettiest journey ever, and I swear to God, I'm not kidding. It says LA on one side of this road. This is so cool.
I am so fascinated.
I feel like you're about to travel to 3 different places. One seems more like a city, and the other 2 places seem more like mountainous. At the end of your 3rd trip, there's like a small little gap, but I see a male figure, and he's standing on something, and I can't figure out what that is. But he's kind of has his like both his hands open to you, It could be someone in the industry. It could be your future husband. It could be your ancestors who are watching over you. I don't know, but it connects between him and your last trip that you're gonna do. There's like a connection there that's gonna happen. Does the letter A mean anything? Is there anyone in your life with the letter A? It's a good thing because I see it literally like all around the cup. There's like some stress that I see as well, which we can work on. But you know, we live in
just see
LA.
that in
Who the
me
fuck doesn't have
anyway.
stress? Huh?
I was like, you probably just see that in me in general. That is a lot from a tiny cup.
There's more, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up with that because I think it's all really great things. But you have 3 things that are coming your way, and the last one is a pretty big road that it could be a project, it could be something, a move or whatever, but it's gonna be there for like a while.
All right.
If any of this comes true, please text me.
Yes.
Okay, guys, thank you for your time. Do you want to look at it?
Only.
I'm curious to see what you see.
Oh, I see that LA.
Right? I'm not crazy.
No,
I could be
no.
crazy.